All right, y'all, we are back at the New York International Auto Show, and we're here at the Porsche stand, and we're going to take a look at the Taycan Turbo S. Porsche claims that they've increased everything about this car. A new design, which looks better, more performance, more features, so we're going to take a close look at this Taycan Turbo S. Porsche has given its all-electric Taycan a significant update. The new versions have more power, greater range, quicker acceleration, and faster charging. Looking at this Taycan Turbo in front of us, we see that the design has been sharpened, and Porsche claims they have given the Taycan Turbo a greater visual differentiation from the non-turbo models. You can still get the sedan as well as the Cross Turismo body styles. The upgraded versions are scheduled to arrive in the US showrooms this summer. So let's get to the performance figures. The updated Taycan Turbo S sedan is now capable of 0 to 60 in just 2.3 seconds, which is about 0.3 seconds quicker than before, making this the quickest production Porsche has ever made. The Turbo S has an increased power output of up to 938 horsepower, making it the most powerful production Porsche to date. On the other end of the scale, the basic Taycan sedan, if there is such a basic one, I guess what makes it basic is rear-wheel drive only, goes from 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, making it about a half second quicker than before. Let me just clarify, the base Taycan is rear-wheel drive only because it has one electric motor on the rear axle. But the Taycan 4S, Taycan Turbo, and Taycan Turbo S all have two electric motors, one on the front axle and one on the rear axle, making them all-wheel drive. All Taycans have what Porsche calls a push-to-pass function as a part of the Sport Chrono package, and that is a boost of up to 70 kilowatts for 10 seconds at the touch of a button, which increases acceleration with that boost of power. In the base Taycan, that delivers about 60 kilowatts more, and in the Big Dog Turbo S, that's an additional 140 kilowatts when using launch control. Porsche claims they've made improvements on charging as well. The updated Taycan has the ability to recharge even faster than before. At 800-volt DC charging stations, it can be charged at up to 300 kilowatts, and that's 50 kilowatts more than before. Now standard is a 150 kilowatt DC to DC converter, which optimizes charging speeds on 400-volt networks. All this means is a reduction of time required from going from 10% to 80% charge compared to previous Taycans. It can now take just 18 minutes in spite of its larger battery capacity. The Performance Battery Plus option now has a gross capacity of 105 kilowatt hours, which is an increase from 93 kilowatt hours from before. There are new active chassis enhancements to the Taycan now. So adaptive air suspension is now standard across all models. Something that Porsche calls Porsche Active Ride suspension is available for all-wheel drive models, which increases the range of comfort to dynamic driving. It keeps the body of the Taycan level at all times, even during hard braking, hard steering, and acceleration. Porsche claims this system keeps the car flat under all conditions by compensating for any pitching and rolling motions. Styling. There is a new front and rear end styling with new headlights and taillights, new front fenders, and flatter headlights that emphasize the width of the Taycan. And I've noticed that this new flatter, wider approach has been adopted across many of the Porsche products now, including the new Macan EV and the Cayenne. By the way, if you want to see my first look at the new Porsche Macan Turbo EV, please click on the banner that's popping up right now or check the description down below. So let's take a look at some of the design features. And again, as we saw with the new Macan model, they've gone with this slimmer kind of headlight. They still have the four-post LED lights for daytime running lights, but the whole housing is much more shallower. And there's a lot more angles now going on the Taycan. It's not as round. Remember the original Mission E concept, which was beautiful, that the Taycan was based on? Very rounded shapes, but now there's a lot more angular shapes going on here, which gives it kind of a more modern, refreshed look, I will say. Porsche really wanted to differentiate their top Turbo and Turbo S models from lesser Taycans. So that's why you see such aggressive angles and shapes on the front end of this Turbo S. But let's look at the standard Taycan. And it looks like the standard Taycan is actually smoother in its front end design. It makes me wonder, does the Turbo S aggressive design just look a little too busy?
You guys let me know in the comments below what you think.
And Porsche claims that these more wider horizontal daytime running lights add to the overall width and look and perception of width of the car. Notice the Porsche crest, they call this Turbo Night. Turbo models get this new Porsche crest, which is kind of monochromatic. It's kind of got this almost bronze gold look and color to it against the black tone. So that's unique to the Turbo and Turbo S models. This one is equipped with carbon fiber trim, which is nice. And check out these wheels, you know, very aerodynamic looking wheels, you know, kind of solid piece here with only small inlets. So I'm sure this is more aerodynamic and more efficient, which is important for EVs, even one with an incredible amount of horsepower. Is this a real vent? Let's see, is that real? No, it's a fake vent, but that's all right. You know, it looks cool to have that indentation going down the side of the car. More carbon fiber inlays on the running board. The traditional kind of 911 inspired oval shape still remains for the housing. And there's a nice clean sweep down to the rear end. The rear end of the Taycan has always been nice with this very extremely wide light bar, and that continues into this model. You can see there's even more inlets and cuts. These are probably all fake, you know, here as well. You can see there are even some carbon fiber inlays down here too. But overall, I think the more edges, you know, there's more creases now. It's not as round as before, so more creases in the design of the car, which is kind of nice, which gives it kind of an updated, more modern feel. They're sticking with this kind of handle trim here. You know, they fit flush when the car is locked, but they pop up when you approach the car if you have keyless entry. And here's a look inside of the Turbo S. Let's start with the door card. You know, nice quality, this nice carbon fiber feel here, leather everywhere, nice detailed stitching, Porsche quality here, hockey stick kind of open latch here, looks pretty good. All the switchgear feels pretty nice, but it's plastic. Here's the interior. Full panoramic roof, which is great. I love letting the light in. And of course we have these nice sporty seats here, which ample bolstering. We'll jump in a second to see if they're comfortable. Yes, indeed, the seats are very, very comfortable. All right, we are inside of the new Taycan Turbo, and it continues to be a really nice place to be. Let's take a look at some of the displays and controls. Classic Taycan control binnacle here. It's all digital, and of course Taycan introduced that kind of curved look about it, but it still has round dials harkering back to the original 911. There is a screen here which you can control all of your media and navigation. There's another screen there. Notice you can't see anything, but from the driver's angle you cannot see what's going on that screen. But if you're the passenger, of course, you can see completely and control easily, you know, anything that you want to control here, which is kind of cool. And of course, Taycan, the original Taycan introduced this too. All of your HVAC controls are here in the center. It's all touchscreen, all very modern.
Porsche claims to have updated the instrument cluster and passenger display to be improved with additional functions. There is a new in-car video function that enables video streaming on both the central and passenger displays, which is probably why there is that protective film over the passenger display so that the driver can't watch a YouTube video that the passenger is watching, because the driver needs to be keeping their eye on the road.
Got a couple of cup holders here. And there is a cubby hole here for your phone and some other ports back here as well. But yeah, it's a nice place to be. I love this GT steering wheel. It's nice and small and compact. This one is finished in that Alcantara-like suede material, which is kind of cool, with some detail in carbon fiber detail here. Of course, this one has, because it's a Turbo S model, that new Turbo Night treatment for the Porsche logo, which is kind of a bronzish and black kind of monotone feel about it. So that's exclusive to the Turbo models. So yeah, it continues to be a really, really nice place to be. Oh, and I do like this roof. See the roof here? You can actually control the pattern here to control how much sunlight you let into the cabin. That's a pretty neat feature. You can keep it all clear, you can have it all ghosted, you can do this pattern in between. Pretty nice feature. Let's go into the back seat. Now the Taycan Turbo is a smaller vehicle than the Panamera. So let's see, as you can see, in the back seats, that same level of luxury appears back here as well. They are almost like that bucket seat look in the rear as well, to kind of keep your passengers in check as you unleash that 630 horsepower on them. Let's jump in the back. See? It's kind of a, oh, look at how it's difficult to get in this thing. I can't say it. This seat is probably farther back than my driver position, but you saw how it was difficult to get my big old size 13 feet into the well here. I probably need to adjust the size, the position of that front seat to be more where I would sit. It's really far back.
Honestly, it was pretty tight for me to squeeze in back here. I'm 6'3".
But I do have clearance from the sunroof. It's not bad. Nice feature of the Taycan Turbo, it does have soft closed doors. Very good. Nice. Luxurious touch. Let's see. Open up the rear hatch area. Again, differing from the Panamera, it is not a full hatchback. It is still a trunk, but it's very deep, very practical for, you know, traveling with 4 people and luggage and whatever gear that they may have. There's even little cubby holes, deep cubby hole back here on this side of the fender, which, let's see, there's like a little hidden cubby here as well to hide some small items in the trunk. Yeah, very nice 12-volt outlet as well back here, and some latch points deep in the back. And these are seats that do fold down, so adding to the practicality of the Taycan. Nice.
Pricing. Man, MSRP is still high on the Taycan. It starts out with a base 2-wheel drive Taycan is about $99,400. A Taycan Turbo S starts out at about $209,000. And of course, the Taycan Turbo S Cross Turismo starts out at about $211,700. And there are various iterations of the Taycan that are in between all of those. So it's a pretty pricey proposition as far as I'm concerned.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like this video, please let me know in the comments below and hit like and subscribe. What do you think of the updated Taycan Turbo S? Is this something that you're interested in? Do you think Porsche did a good job in updating this iconic car? If you did, please hit me up with some comments below. Stay tuned for more content coming from the New York International Auto Show, and I'll see you in the next video. Safe driving, everybody.